Give me one moment, everybody. I'm having a few bit of technical issues, so I am trying to get through these technical issues. So if you're here, give me just a moment. I am so sorry. But I had scheduled I had put this live stream on schedule so that way I could just be able to do that and not have to worry about it today. And obviously my computer did not like that. So I'm updating my stream for everybody. So if you are here, shout out, let me know that you're here. Say hello. But again, I'm so sorry. I'm having a little bit of technical issues. It happens. There's nothing you can do about it, right? Right? So hello, everyone. Hopefully everybody's going to get here. Tonight is our Witchy Wednesday. Say hello in chat and let us know if you've got any questions, and that way I can answer you. Tonight we are going to discuss the current moon phase. What exactly does that mean for us? What can we do tonight? What is this new moon that we're in? We're not even in a new moon. Sorry. What is the oh my gosh. See, I have one little problem at the beginning and my brain goes, nope, we're not talking to you right now. So right now, we're going to discuss the current moon phase. And we are going to talk about something called the Schumann resonance. I heard a TikTok creator talking about it the other day, and I was like, what is that? I'm kind of interested. So we're going to discuss that. But right now, let's see where we are for our moon. All right. So today I am, as per always, when we have Witchy Wednesdays, I pull my magical almanac and I also pull my planner, right? And I check what moon phase are we in. Well, our moon phase for tonight is we are in a waxing moon and it is the first quarter. Huh? Well, we've known from previous Witchy Wednesdays that the moon has different phases, and in each phase, that is part of our practice, right? That's the thing that we can do certain things to manifest our dreams, our goals, right? Change our reality. There are 8 phases, and each phase has a very, very particular type of energy, right? So right now, we are in phase 3 of the 8 phases. All right. Phase 3, we're starting to see the light of the moon a little bit more. All right. This is what I want you to think of visually. Right now, the phase that we're in, it's been dark. At night, when you go out, it's not as brightly lit as normally. You go out there tonight and there's a little bit more light, right? We're adding light as we get to full moon. That additional of light, think of it like more light being put onto what your craft is. What is your intentions? Okay. Phase 1 of the full moon, what I like to do is I like to research what I want to do. Right. I've kind of always have some type of thing that I'm trying in the background. So what I'll do is, okay, at the start of a moon, the new moon, I will research. I will look up, what do I need in order to do what I'm wanting to do. Phase 2, I'll write my intention down. I'll just write it down, not think about it, not edit it, just write it. Okay. Phase 3, which we're in right now, phase 3 is my editing. So right now, think about the intentions that you've set out for yourself for the month. What goals do you have for the month, right? Edit those goals. Reflect on what you're trying to do. How can you make this better? So tonight's energy is all about editing. Look at that intention. What can I do? All right. The cool thing that as I was doing my research, right, and going through all that we can do, on page 23 of this book, they actually have some affirmations that we can say for tonight. All right. And I thought this was perfect. I thought this was really perfect. The affirmation for tonight that you can say while you're taking a shower, before you go to bed, as you're brushing your teeth, you say, and this one hit hard for me, guys, really hard. I am worthy of my love first. I am worthy of my love first, which then can be shared. You think about that. Hey, Juby, how are you? I'm glad you made it. Hey, Zarabeth. I had a little bit of technical difficulties. It's okay. But yeah, I love myself first. So this affirmation, this moon phase, it's all about, like I said, editing. We are looking at what we want out of ourselves. How do we love ourselves? How do you make yourself first? How do you make sure you're loving yourself first, right? So if your intentions that you're setting aren't for you, maybe that's the edit that you need to make, right? I need to edit so that way it sees that I am putting myself first. The universe sees that I am loving myself first. It's been my experience that when the universe sees that I am putting myself first, that I am considering myself as beautiful and as worthy as it sees me, then I get more. I have more opportunities. I have more observations, more knowledge laid upon me. Right. So it's always one of those things where make sure you're putting yourself first. The universe will honor you as long as you are honoring you. So I loved that affirmation. I absolutely loved that one. The things that you can do right now, according to this, and again, I'm reading from the books that I have. And how did I choose my books? Well, I went to a bookstore and I flipped through the books. If the information felt good to me, felt like I could connect with it, then I bought the book. So this information connects with me. If it does not connect with you, cool beans. You do you, boo, right? It's fine. It's just the way that I do things. All right. And according to this book, what I can do right now and what you can if you'd like, um, this really is a time for you wanting to nurture relationships, specifically with yourself. All right. Nurture the relationship you have with yourself. That's why tonight we are going to do a little bit of shadow work prompt, because we do need to really shine the light on us, give ourselves the spotlight, right? So right now is a perfect time to nurture the relationships with yourself, but also friends, family. Um, it also says that it's a great time to take a look around to love, which also may require pruning a few branches. So, in other words, what things do you need to edit in order to make yourself happy, to make yourself grow? Is there anything that you need to edit with your intentions, your goals? All right. Um, I wanted to share tonight with you a lot of things. That's why I'm going so fast. There's so many things that I found were cool today as I was reading through stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to read that to them. Oh my gosh, let me share this with them. So if I am going too fast, please tell me and say, hey, stop for a minute. All right, my loves. Because there was so many cool things that I found. I was like, they've got to hear this. Um, one of the things that this particular book has is the different goddesses for different regions. I chose to share with you the pagan and Celtic and the Norse moon goddesses. So I'm going to share with you what goddesses they consider being connected to the moon. Why did I choose those? Well, from the work that I have done on my family, I've found that this would be the heritage. This would be the culture. That's not the right word I'm looking for. This is the line that I'm going with. All right. What's the book? The book is Moon Magic, and it is written by Aurora Kane. It says a handbook of lunar cycles, lore, and mystical energies. And I will tell you, like, I have loved this book. Hey, Cheyenne, how are you, kiddo? Hey, Cindy. I have loved this book. If you if you don't have any magical books in your life and you're looking for some that aren't too hard. Sometimes you get into these books and they're heavy. They are really heavy. Like I will say my book, The Four Agreements. I love this book. I love this book. I've read it several times and I go back to it, but it's heavy. It's not a light reading. But Moon Magic isn't a heavy read. It is a very kind of, here's the information you need, done. So if you're getting a book on moon magic, this one was pretty good. The other one that I'm just always get every single year are these two planners. I get the Llewellyn Witches Planner, and I get the Witches Almanac, the Magical Almanac. Both of those are very, very practical to have. And I have started taking information from my planners because it is a planner, so you are going to toss it. But there's information in here that I started cutting out and actually placing in different journals. I have a journal right now on astrology because, as Winston's mom and everybody that joins us frequently will know, astrology, I don't know very well. So I'm trying to make sure that I do learn it. So I have taken this and I've actually put it into like sketchbooks. The articles will go in there and then I'll be able to write around it. I'm big into journaling. I know some people can't. And I know eventually with my brain the way it is, it'll get to a point where I won't be able to. I have heard there's a lot to be said about, the text-to-speech apps. So, Zara, do you think you have this one? I love this. Lori, what's up? Oh, let's see. I need to learn more about astrology as well. Yeah, it's one of those things that I've always wanted to learn, and I know just enough to kind of be dangerous, but not nearly enough to really say that I can speak on what I know. That is one I cannot speak. Now, the moon, I have always been fascinated with the moon, and that's kind of the reason why we're doing this, is because I love moon lore. I love moon magic. I feel energized. I feel rejuvenated by the moon. So, but the goddesses that represent the moon are pretty interesting for the pagan and Norse goddesses. Pagan goddesses are Arianhad, and I'm going to have to see if I can learn to pronounce that name. This moon goddess lovely name translate into silver wheel. She is fertility as well as rebirth. Saradin is a crone, and now she is dark. However, she's her whole thing is watching the cauldron. She's the watcher. Saradin is the watcher. And Epona, is the horse goddess and associated with nights and dreams. So if you're wanting to invoke a goddess that has to do with dreaming, you would call upon her. Norse moon goddesses are El. She is a little dodgy right now. Again, if I cut out completely, I will I will restart. Why? Why are the technical issues today? It's been one technical issue after another. Your sign is solid buzzkill. Cindy. That's funny. But you're not, by the way. All right. You're not. I know, she's funny. Yeah, Norse goddesses, we have El, and then we have Freya that is also associated with the moon with Norse mythology. She is no ordinary goddess, though. Freya held a significant position in goddess pecking order. She was revered for her beauty and is said to influence in the areas of love, wealth, fertility, and magic. So any spell that you're doing related to the moon, you can call upon Freya. Her specialty, though, is the wealth and beauty and love. Then there's also Frigg. Her significant duties include being a goddess of marriage and childbirth. So if it has to do with motherhood, you would call upon her for your magical workings. This is just me, though. Whatever lineage you come from, look up and find out who their moon goddesses are. What are their moon spirits? What do they call the energy that works with the moon? Find that, and you then use that as your invocation, right? What goes into a spell during this time is kind of important. All right. We've talked about the elements that we put into a spell aren't necessarily that element itself, it's the energy. It's the energy. You're borrowing the energy from that particular element. Like basil, we know is for luck. So I am borrowing the luck energy from basil when I'm using basil in my spell work. If you are using herbs that are directly associated with that moon phase, you are working with herbs that now have the highest energy to give you. They are at their most potent. All right. Those particular for the moon we are on right now, the waxing moon, common sage. Common sage, right? We're not talking about anything else. I have rubbing sage that I got from I think I got it from Walmart. I got rubbing sage, and I just put that on a charcoal disc, right? Doesn't have to be fancy. Lemon is good. Lemon is good right now because it is a refresher. It's, remember that editing, we are refreshing what our intentions are. So lemon is really good for refreshing. Lime, you can use lime right now. And believe it or not, lime in water. Everybody's like, okay, it's just lemon or water, lime and water. If your intentions are put into there, so say I take a slice of lime and I stick it in my water. I say, as I am stirring the lime juice into that water, I say to it, purify and cleanse me, bring me happiness. And I stir it 3 times clockwise because I'm turning it in. When you do clockwise, you are stirring that intention in. So I take the lime and water and I say this as I stir it 3 times and then I drink. Voila, I just made a spell. And that spell would be especially potent right now because lime is associated with this time period. Okay. Don't forget. Oh yes, please don't forget to like like this video. Thank you, Cindy. Juby, are you a Norse pagan? Because then you would know all of the gods and goddesses, right? For the Norse mythology. I have always kind of leaned towards the Greek and Roman mythos, but I am very interested in learning the Norse mythology. I actually have a book from Neil Gaiman, Norse mythology. They are fun. So far the Norse gods that I have learned about, they are really fun. And I know that's an odd word to associate with them, but they just feel like people as opposed to gods, if that makes any sense to you, Juby. Yeah, the Greek and Roman, they're a little funny. They're a little funny. I'm going to turn this way so you guys won't keep seeing that ring light in my eyes. Another good herb to use right now is peppermint, because it's uplifting. All right. It also will help with your aches and pains. So again, if you're looking to create a spell that, and again, I say spell, and when you say that to baby witches think there's got to be this big, I've got created my sacred space and I'm grounding, and all those things are important for big spells. But there are things like daily spells that are just reaffirmations that we say to ourselves over and over again. There are things that we do, we put our intentions in. You look at the Tylenol and you're like, please take my headache away. And you pop it. Well, that's an intention. You just put an intention inside that Tylenol. The Tylenol's going to take my headache away. Right? Same thing goes with peppermint. Peppermint's for pain. You get some peppermint oil. please take my pain away. Right now, it's especially potent. All right. Um, right, Zarabeth. That's the thing. I think the reason why I like Norse pagan gods so much is because I can relate better to people than gods. And so it seems like they're just easier to talk to, you know? Oh, Odin. Odin is a very interesting character. Right. Lori, like a prayer. It is very much these little daily affirmations are what Christians would call prayers. And for us, it is just small little spell work. It's just tiny little things, you know? Um, yeah. Oh, peppermint is good for everything, I think. I use peppermint when my head doesn't, it's not like it's killing me, but I wake up with the daily headache. If I put a little bit of peppermint oil on my neck, on the back of my neck, and sometimes on my scalp, it'll actually help. Oh, that is so cool, Juby. When you get it finished, if you'd like to share it, I would love to read it. That'd be very cool. Rosemary is good for this time period. Rosemary is good for the circulation and in memory. So if you're working a spell that needs you to enhance a memory, rosemary would be really good to include in that spell right now. Spearmint is another one. It acts just like peppermint does. And Virginian cedarwood. All right. It helps calm anxiety and nervous tension. So right now would be a good time to use cedar wood to work on maybe some of the shadow work that you are scared to work on, right? Burn some cedar wood to calm yourself. What does it mean when it says it is a first quarter moon? Because we are in waxing first quarter. Waxing first quarter. This is, according to the book, this is a great time to look forward and let the past go. That's something we all struggle with. We all struggle with remembering that the chapter we left is the previous chapter. That doesn't determine the whole story. It's just a chapter, right? So time right now is a good time to look back and go, that's an ended chapter and it no longer serves me. It's no longer driving the story. This next chapter drives the story, you know. Here's a big one, and I kind of worked it into the shadow work that we're going to do later. This is a good time to reevaluate the grudges that you hold. We all have grudges. I have grudges. There are people that I think hateful things about, right? Because of the hurt that they caused me. It's time to look at that and go, what does that hate serve me? How does the hate serve me? Because I don't want something that doesn't serve me. So is holding this grudge something I need? You know, I can forgive and forget, but only if it serves me. Right? Remember that daily affirmation that we talked about. I love myself first. And when I have loved myself first, then I may share my love. Holding the grudge is not loving yourself first. Okay? I say this because I know how hard it is. You know, like I said, I have people that I think hateful things of. It's a daily struggle, but this is a nice time to think about those things. Think about the illumination of their shadows. What do you see in their shadows with all this light? You know? Juby, I love rosemary as well. um, oh, I need to really look toward my future. Yes, yes. You felt that all day. I have felt the movement since last year. Like the pandemic kind of started something. And I think we're all moving to this greater growth. And we were in a learning stage in 2020. We are in an absorption stage right now where we absorbed what we are learning and applying it to life. And then I think the next stage is when we synthesize and actually understand how this has made us better people and we're able to move forward. So I think we're in the middle of this whole growth period. Um, I've always treated people who I hate as if they're dead. Yeah, only speak respectfully of them, but always the truth because they are not allowed close enough to hurt me anymore. It's there is somebody that well, there's a couple of somebodies, but there's somebody that hurt me so incredibly bad that it's like speaking Voldemort, like you don't even want to speak their name. Um, but what does that hate serve me? And it's something I'm always struggling with is that this hurt is mine. They don't carry it. It doesn't do anything to them. The hurt is only hurting me and then hurting others because I'm scarred and my behaviors are different because of that hurt, right? So it's something I struggle with. Like it's a constant the hate is only hurting me. Oh. It's an amazing song for what is it? El King, the song of Little Bit of Lovin'. Okay, I will listen to it. Indeed, that is a great way to look at that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. If y'all haven't figured out yet, if you're a random new person here, Cindy speaks the truth. All my regulars speak the truth. I'll say that. You guys have helped me grow in ways I couldn't have even imagined. So I appreciate how much you guys contribute into the chat. And like I said, you just make me a better person by learning with you. I struggle with hate and lack of closure. Yeah. Um, it's I know, like I said before, I know my hate only hurts me, but it is such a struggle to let it go because it's such a deep hurt, right? So this moon phase is trying to tell us edit. Edit your feelings. Edit who's in your life, right? Just look at what your intentions are and edit. What do you want? Okay? Um, you have what it takes to manifest your intentions right now. You have what it takes. Period. No question mark. Period. Right? You have what it takes. So that's another thing that we've got to tell ourselves during this stage because it is stage 3. It is that time where we are solidifying our intentions for this magical cycle. Stage 3 is this is it. This is what I want, right? I know this is going to happen because I can make it happen. That's what the stage is about. This is I'm looking in the woman in the mirror. Oh yeah, asking her to change her ways. No question could have been any clearer. I'm sorry. I broke out in a song. I won't do that again. No, I'll do it again. It speaks truth. Yes. um, our moon right now, though, is in Virgo. And again, I'm not a great in astrology, so I did look it up and try to figure out what does that mean. All right. Our moon being in Virgo actually means that we are extremely artistic right now, but also very sensitive. So we might be taking things to heart that we shouldn't be taking to heart. We would be prone to over analyzing our feelings right now. And that makes total sense. That makes total sense. Hey, Chad, what's up? Cindy is singing in chat right now. So is Sarah Beth. Oh my god, this is great. They're doing if you're watching this after the fact, my viewers are singing in chat, and it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It has made my whole day. Um, I wanted to share with you, we've talked about the magical process, our magical workings, and we talked about it being 8 stages. Well, I have very specific stages. Um, my mine don't necessarily correlate directly with the moon stages. It's just this is what has worked for me. My first step into spell work is I research. And that does correlate to stage 1, okay? I research. Well, what kind of elements will I need? What kind of energy do I need to borrow? What are the words I want to use? Right? Are there specific reasons for certain words? Step 2 is cleansing. I'm going to cleanse myself of any negativity. Why? I do not want negativity brought into my spell work. It's a good way of making things blow up, right? I don't want negativity brought into my spell work. I want to cleanse myself. I want to cleanse my mind. I want to release anything that does not serve me. All right. Those energies will not be allowed to drain my energy. I will need all my energy for what I am currently trying to manifest. Grounding. We will go over grounding more. I think we're probably going to do it next week because it's something that I see a lot of people having issues with. Like why, what to do. Oh gosh, you guys are started singing. My daughter jumped up and started dancing. That's funny, Juby. That's right. We need to do it. You know what? I have a Patreon. What we need to do is I'll put like a link on my Patreon and we all do a Zoom call. We'll have a Zoom meeting. That'll be fun, right? Then I can see all of your faces for once. I love that idea, Cindy. I love that idea. Okay, so next week we're going to do grounding because I know that's something that we're all kind of confused on. So I'll talk about different ways of grounding so that way you can have options. So that's next Witchy Wednesday. We're going to talk about grounding. The next thing I do after I've grounded is I create my sacred space. All right. Sacred space can be anything. I've had boxes, like little trinket boxes that were sacred spaces. I have a plant altar over here that is a sacred space. I've got an actual altar in my living room that is a sacred space. They are all working altars. So, what does sacred space mean? Again, that's something that is very complicated, and I kind of need to do a whole live on that one. All right. So I think this is what our next couple of lives will be about is these steps and what entails in each one of these steps. If that's something you guys would be interested in, I'll do that. Juby, grounding, if you have something that works for you, can be amazing. It can be absolutely amazing. I've gotten a lot of grounding myself from one of my Norse pagan servers. Okay. I love my brain works sometimes. I need the grounding live next week. Zara knows the drill. Hey, Sam, what's up? Currently trying to multitask watching this and looking at cosmetology school stuff. Yeah. Sam, that'll be great for you. That would be great for you. You had my back yesterday and I got yours tonight. That's right. You guys are watching out for each other. So we'll talk about sacred space as well. Intention setting. And this is pretty specific. So in that step, your intentions need to be very clear. All right. And that's why we take a couple of days to figure this out. What exactly are we doing with our intentions? That's why during a waxing moon, you will also edit your intentions. All right. Outside energy. When I talk about outside energy, I'm talking about what tools do I need? What herbs do I need? What energy am I borrowing? Do I need moon water for this? Do I need something else for this? What do I need for this particular work? What energies do I want to borrow in order to really make this work? Okay. Reflection. After I've done the spell, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to reflect on that spell, right? What parts of it worked? What parts of it did not work? What parts of it made me feel uncomfortable? Why did that make me feel uncomfortable? Was it something I should have done differently? All right. So I'm going to reflect on my spell work. I, again, journal because I love writing. So I will journal what worked, what didn't work. And lastly, and this is the most important part of spell work, is show gratitude. Show gratitude. And I'm not talking to the show gratitude to the universe because that's a given, right? Show gratitude to yourself. You figured this out. You knew how to empower yourself. This wasn't somebody giving you the ability to do it. This is your ability. You did this. Okay? So show gratitude to yourself. Say, I am thankful for the knowledge that I received from being able to read this book, that book, whatever. I am thankful for the energy that I had in order to create this. Be thankful for yourself. Again, come back to that affirmation for today. You know, I am worthy of loving myself first. Then I can share my love. Be grateful to yourself. All right. Be grateful to yourself. Currently, what is it? I still have your moon water here. Yay! Good. Not sure how to do anything properly. Cindy, I can't remember which moon water I gave you. I think I might have given you a Halloween one. I'm not sure. Self-worship is important. Yes, we work hard for it and only we can fully appreciate the effort. That is exactly it. And it's so weird that we live in a society that diminishes self-worship. Like, I am not supposed to. It's conceited. It's cocky, right? That's what we get told. We're being too full of ourselves, right? It can be seen as being selfish, but it serves a purpose. It makes me feel good about me. And when I feel good about me, then I have enough to share. We're running around making people feel bad about themselves, and no one loves themselves enough to share love with others. They're always trying to get love for themselves. So what if we turned the society around and said, hey, be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for what you've done for yourself. Be thankful about you, right? Like, I struggle with self-esteem, and I think I want to say that's like a Gen X female thing, but I'm not entirely sure. But I walked out of the bathroom earlier after doing my makeup. I was like, I'm kind of cute. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And as a society, we've said, no, that's conceited. You're not supposed to do that, right? Yep, I gave you For the Love of Halloween, Cindy. That one I don't think is actually, like, it's a moon water, but all it is an empowering spray. So you'll be able to feel stronger by just spraying it into the corners of your home. And that's that one. If you don't feel good, you can't spread the love. That's true. Be the light. Be the light. Yes, Cindy. Again, yeah, Cindy, you're right. It is essential for you to love who you are. And it took me a long time to figure that out. A very long time. And now that I do love who I am, like, are there some things that I'd like to change? Yes, I'm actively working on those things. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But I don't hate myself. I don't hate myself at all. Now I can look at myself in the mirror and go, you know what? You are smart. You know what? You do know your stuff. You are capable of finding out the information that you don't know. You are capable of getting what you want. I've proven that to myself time and time again. So I'm finally at that point where I can love myself and truly share my love with others. I no longer am masking it, you know? It's hard. Shadow work is what that's all about. That's exactly it. That's I think the reason why I have for some reason started being put into this corner of shadow work. It's like my guides are kind of pushing me into doing something um, with just empowering people, helping people find themselves. Um, so we've talked about what the Virgo, in the moon being in Virgo is all about. But each moon phase also has a tarot card associated to it. This particular one, this particular phase, the Hermit is associated with this particular phase. So, what is the Hermit as far as in tarot? It's that I want to be alone. Leave me alone, right? You need time by yourself. So, this is actually really good right now in order to edit your intentions and truly reflect and kind of work through what needs to happen next. You do need that by yourself time. You need that downtime to edit. Okay. So, that makes total sense to me. Thank you, Cindy. That's how I feel about everybody. We are absolutely beautifully flawed human beings that should be proud of ourselves because, heck, we made it to this point, right? We made it to today. All the things that could go wrong in our life and have gone wrong in our life, we are standing here today. We take in that breath today, right? I'm proud of all the steps I have taken. I am proud of all the words that I have read. I am proud of all the things I have listened to. And I am proud of how I perceive all those things, right? I am not ashamed of who I am. I am a good person. That takes strength to get there, and we should all be there, you know? I can meditate and ground myself very easily, yeah. Chad, like I said, next Wednesday we are going to go over some grounding techniques. There are so many. But the Hermit is the tarot card for the waxing moon. I keep getting that all kinds of. So, what kind of spells can you do right now? What kind of spells can you do right now? Well, I'm going to read you a list of a few spells, and we are going to actually do one. Okay. One of the spells is hope is its own kind of magic. Now, what I really like about this is that this book doesn't require all the extra. When it talks about spell work, their spell work is very, very simple. They are words. They are words you speak out loud. Now, there are some in here that says, go get a candle, blah, 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 whatever. But for the most part, these are all just words that you say aloud. Like, hope is its own kind of magic is a spell. And the words that you're saying are, waxing moon, growing light, ignite the burn of hope's delight. For hope does still encourage a will to blossom bold and bright. Very simple. That's the whole spell, right? This book allows you to add your own path in. Okay. So you've got hope. You've got one that's about forget-me-not, which is about storing memories of people that you've lost. Wishes coming true. Success is one of them. Living joyfully is one of these. Spell for a new adventure. Peacefulness. So living in peace. A fertility blessing, because remember, we did have some goddesses in there that have to do with fertility. Um, Easing aches and pains, because our peppermint and our spearmint are there, right? Those are the herbs for right now. Enhancing your intuition. Charming. This one is that you can take a moment to visualize the target of your enchantment. Take a deep calming breath, and when ready, say these words aloud. And these words are all about charming your words, making sure that when you speak, your target, your audience, interprets the words exactly the way you want. So if you are if you're giving a presentation, this is a good one, right? This is a really good one. Some people have all the luck, so it is about bringing luck to yourself. All right. There's one in here about friendship. There is a spell for creativity. Um, and there is a spell to take action, to encourage taking action. So that is what we are working with this moon energy. Now, I'm going to have you do something. Now, you don't have to. This shadow work that I'm going to give you, this prompt that I'm going to give you, for some, it might be triggering. So I'm going to warn you right now, okay? We are going to go over this, and then I'm going to go over the Schumann resonance and talk about that. But for our shadow work, the first thing I'd like for us to do is to empower ourselves to feel okay with shining light onto our shadows. All right. So I created a little bit of a word salad here. That's what I'm going to call it, a word salad. It's a little bit of a spoken spell that would allow you to feel safe. It allows you to feel safe when exposing your shadows. All right. So this is what we would say. Growing moon, share your light with me. So many shadows of myself that I cannot see. So growing moon, hold my hand and help me believe that all of me, the dark parts especially, are worthy of company. I am safe. I am loved. I live authentically. Okay? So I'm going to say this one more time. This is my shadow work spell to protect myself from my own shadows. Growing moon, share your light with me. So many shadows of myself that I cannot see. So growing moon, hold my hand and help me believe that all of me, the dark parts especially, are worthy of company. I am safe. I am loved. I live authentically. Here is the shadow work for this week. Okay. I have 4 questions. 4 questions for you to answer. And I've already answered mine, and I didn't like my answers. I gotta look at them and figure out. Okay. So here are your questions for this week. Who do you blame for blank? As soon as I said that, most of you had an image or a situation come up. Who do you blame for that situation? Okay. What did they do to create that situation? What was their fault? How did they create that? All right. The situation that's in your head that you blame them for, how did they create that situation? Write it down. What did you want to happen in that situation? What were your expectations of that situation? Okay. Mine was a very simple, my expectation was to be kept safe. That was it. Okay. So it doesn't have to be elaborate things. What were your expectations of that situation? Lastly, what was your role? What was your role in that situation? How did your presence affect that situation? If you were to take yourself out of that situation, what would have happened? These are the types of things that when we're working at shadow work, we start looking at. I am angry at that person. Why am I angry at that person? Well, this situation happened and that person caused it. Okay, what did they do to cause this situation? Well, they did X, Y, and Z. Okay, what were your expectations? This. Was that a correct expectation? Maybe, maybe not, right? So my expectation was this because as much as this is not a popular opinion and it is brutal to think about, you hurt because of your expectations. You hurt because of what you think should happen. Now, that is excluding trauma. Okay? I'm going to exclude trauma from that because nobody has an expectation of that. Nobody has an expectation of that. Right? So when we are working through trauma, if that's part of your shadow work and you're working through trauma, identify that this was my expectation because this is normal. This is the normal expectation of the situation. All right. And if that wasn't the normal thing that happened, state that in your prompt. All right. The whole idea is to pick apart the situation and see yourself as an outside standing by. You know, look at yourself as an outsider. What would you have said to yourself looking from the outside? Okay. So that's what our shadow work is on this one. Attacking me in my dreamscape. Oh. Well, that's why we have our guiding gods and goddesses, Chad, is that, you know, they do, as long as that we are respectful of our deities, they should protect us. They should. So, all right. That is our shadow work, and we are done with that because that is heavy, right? That's some heavy stuff. So what are we going to do next? Well, we're going to talk about the Schumann resonance. I'm on TikTok, and there is a creator by the name of, I think I've mentioned her before, Baba Ragana, something like that. I love watching her, and she had mentioned a couple of times something called a Schumann resonance, and she talked about how it affects people and everything. So I was like, well, what is this? I'd like to know. So I looked it up. Make sure that I put it somewhere. And I didn't. All right. Well, it's okay. I remember most of it. So the Schumann resonance, what basically it is that it is an actual phenomenon that happens. Scientifically proven, it happens. What happens? Well, between the Earth's crust and the ionosphere, right? The part of the atmosphere, there's this area in which we are in. And in this area, lightning happens, right? Well, lightning creates an electromagnetic wave, radio wave. This electromagnetic radio wave just kind of like goes around the Earth, right? It's a little burst of an electromagnetic wave. Now, sometimes those bursts link up and become longer waves. And as they link up and create stronger waves, those are called Schumann resonance, all right? Now, according to what I read, human beings, we vibrate like at 7.83 megahertz, something like that, and the Earth has the same type of vibration. Schumann resonance will be from like 10 on up. So it's a big spike in electromagnetic energy. As that passes through certain areas, it affects humans. Now, this is completely speculation. This next part is completely speculation. There are some research studies that, from what I read, and again, I am no expert in this, I just found it really fascinating and I wanted to share it with you. From what I read, that there is not any concrete proof of this, but there's a lot of coincidental proof. But as these Schumann resonances have peaks and they go through certain areas, they affect humans. And the way that they affect humans is that it causes us to have increased anxiety and insomnia. Guess what just came through most of the US? Like the last 2 weeks, we've had some Schumann resonances that have been kind of wacky. So what they have found though is by looking at medical records and looking at doctors that would, talk about patients in general, that during these spikes, they had more people come in with anxiety related issues and insomnia related issues. So it is thought that this resonance actually causes us to kind of get a little off balanced. So if you're feeling off balance, check to see if you are having a peak in the Schumann resonance in your area, right? Like that's kind of neat. It's like, oh, okay. And it made total sense to me because, we can, with an EEG, we can look at the electromagnetic waves in our brain, right? We can look at our brain waves. If you get struck by lightning, obviously it's going to make the cells in your body jump around, right? So I thought that was really interesting. Schumann resonance is what it's called. And I am really excited to learn more about it because I think that's really cool. Yeah. Been sleeping worse. You've been extra anxious. I know I've had a couple of panic attacks. I'm like, where's this coming from? Why? Right? It's because of that. So what that tells for witches and the way that I believe she uses it, and I'm not going to say that 100%. I'm just trying to remember. My brain is not that great. But the way that witches use it is that when people come to them and say, I've been feeling anxious, I've been feeling this, if you check the Schumann resonance first, then you know that you can treat them with sound therapy, that you can actually find different frequencies to help get them balanced. So right now, if you're not, there are plenty on YouTube that you can look up and listen to that specific music, and then it's supposed to bring you back into balance. So yes, lots of panic, no disco. I feel this, Zarabeth. Yeah, exactly. Everything seems fine, and then all of a sudden, bam, I'm off kilter. So blame it on the Schumann resonance. All right, my lovelies. It is 8 o'clock. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button for me. Like this video up. If you've not subscribed, subscribe. All right. If you've got any particular thing that you want more information about, please leave me a comment and let me know what you would like for me to research. I am always up for learning more with you. I do not know everything. I am not even going to remotely try to say I know everything. What am I good at? I am good at taking the knowledge that I do know and sharing it with others, and that's why I do so. So if I learn something new, you're going to know it too, because I just find learning cool. All right. I just find learning cool. Love and hugs to you, Lori. I don't use magic at the moment besides my empath wards. You know what? We don't need to, not all of us need to use magic. Now, I do. Why? Because I'm a witch. Oh, and if you haven't seen, I made my little chakra earrings. They're so cute. I'm so happy. Okay. All right. My lovelies, I will see you on Tuesday. I am trying, if you're on my TikTok, I'm trying to go live on TikTok, but I am terrified. I'm terrified to go live on TikTok, but I will try. Okay. All right, lovelies. Be happy. Be safe. You know, if you go anywhere, still wear a mask. People are still gross. All right. And plus, if you wear a mask, nobody can tell that you're cursing them out. Right? Right? All right, y'all. Have a good night, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.